It is a quiet evening in Sydney, and I sit alone in my room with a notebook and a dream. I want to speak English fluently, but I have no teacher, no school to attend, and no one to converse with in English. Despite these challenges, I believe I can learn on my own. Every day, I remind myself of one thing: I will not give up. My vocabulary is limited, my grammar is imperfect, and my pronunciation is shaky, yet my desire to learn and my courage to try are enough to begin. Looking around my room, I see an empty notebook, but my heart is full of questions and hope. Can I truly learn English without assistance? Can I speak fluently without attending school? A small voice inside me whispers, yes, you can. If you feel the same, this message is for you. Stay with me, and I will guide you step by step. Let me share a truth: you do not need a classroom to achieve fluency. You do not need an elaborate plan or expensive books. You only need a small start and a determined heart. Whether you are in Melbourne, Brisbane, or anywhere else, you can begin right where you are. This space is yours. This time is yours. You are not alone, I am with you. Let's begin. Doubts creep into my mind, telling me this journey will be too difficult, but my heart urges me to try. So, I begin. Chapter 1. My first day speaking English alone. I look at the table in my Sydney apartment and say, this is a table. I turn to the chair and repeat, this is a chair. I glance at the window and whisper, this is a window. These words are simple, yet speaking them feels unfamiliar. I speak slowly, feeling shy, but I continue. I walk into the kitchen and notice a cup. This is a cup, I say. I see a spoon. This is a spoon. I pick up a plate. This is a plate. I talk to objects as if they are my friends, giving names to the world around me. Then, I stand before the mirror, meet my own reflection, and smile. Hello, how are you? I laugh. It feels silly, but it also feels good. I ask myself, what is your name, and answer, my name is Liam. I say, nice to meet you. I reply, nice to meet you, too. This becomes my first English conversation, and I have it with myself. I sit down, open my notebook, and write new words. Then, I speak them aloud, repeating them over and over. My voice is not perfect, but it is mine, and it matters. Even if no one hears me, I speak. At first, I make mistakes. Sometimes I forget words. Sometimes I mispronounce them. But I do not stop. I continue because mistakes are part of learning. Speaking English alone feels strange at first. I feel shy, even a little scared. But each word I say is a small victory. Every sentence is a step forward. When I brush my teeth, I say, I brush my teeth. When I make tea, I narrate my actions. I boil water. I take the cup. I pour the tea. I weave English into my daily life, and gradually, it becomes a part of me. The best part of this process is that I can speak slowly, repeating words as many times as I need. No one laughs at me. No one corrects me. I feel safe. I feel free. I feel like I am building a new part of myself. Real confidence does not start on a stage or in front of an audience. It begins in your room, when you speak even though you feel afraid. It begins when you use your voice, even when no one is listening. At first, I do not learn many words or master grammar rules immediately. But I learn something more powerful. I learn to begin. And that is the first secret to learning English at home. You begin even when you are afraid. You speak even when you are alone. And gradually, your fear transforms into strength. This is how my English journey started: one object, one sentence, one mirror, one voice, mine. And that voice will grow stronger every day. Chapter 2: Listening like a child. The next morning, I wake up with a question in my mind: how do babies learn a language? They don't read books or study grammar rules. They simply listen, all day, every day. They hear their parents speaking, songs playing, and conversations happening around them. Even though they don't understand every word, they keep listening. So, I decide to do the same. I will learn English like a child. I will listen every day. I don't need to grasp every word immediately. I just need to hear the sounds, the rhythm, the music of English. Determined to train my ears, I take my phone and search for English podcasts for beginners. I find one called Slow English Stories. The voice is clear and measured. I listen to the first story. It's about a girl visiting the market in Melbourne. The sentences are simple, and I understand most of them. I smile, feeling encouraged. Then, I find another podcast, only 5 minutes long, where the speaker discusses everyday life, eating breakfast, taking the tram, heading to work. I listen carefully and repeat a few sentences after the speaker, focusing on the short ones. My voice is quiet, but I speak. After that, I go to YouTube and search for easy English conversations. I find videos where two people speak slowly. One says, "Hello, how are you?" The other responds, "I'm fine, thank you." And you? These words are familiar. I pause the video and repeat the sentence, saying it again and again. I realize I am listening differently now, not just for entertainment, but for learning. I listen with purpose. I listen with focus. I listen to copy, to understand, to grow. I create a simple plan for my day. While making breakfast, I play an English audio. I listen as I chop vegetables and as the water boils. I don't glance at my phone, I simply absorb the words. My hands work, but my ears learn. Later, while cleaning my room, I put on another podcast. I pay attention to how speakers stress certain words, how their voices rise and fall. I start feeling the rhythm of English. This time, I don't repeat as I clean, I just soak in the sounds. Later, I go for a walk through the streets of Melbourne, taking my headphones with me. I play a short story in English and listen to it 3 times. Each time, I understand more, catching new details. I feel proud. Even when I don't grasp everything, I remind myself that my ears are growing stronger, just like a child learning their first words. At night, before I sleep, I play a final audio, a bedtime story in English. I close my eyes and listen. I don't understand every word, but the voice is soothing, the words gentle. My brain listens. My heart listens. I drift off with English in my ears. This is my new approach to learning English. I listen every day. I don't study grammar rules or memorize vocabulary lists. I don't write, I simply listen like a child. I listen while eating breakfast, while walking, while cleaning, before bed. And gradually, something changes. I start thinking in English. I start hearing English in my mind. Even when I am not listening to an audio, the language becomes a natural part of my world. If you want to speak English, first learn to listen. If you want to communicate well, first listen well. Listening is not passive, it is powerful. Your ears are your first teachers. Train them. Use them. Trust them. Chapter 3, Reading That Changed My Life. It is a rainy afternoon in Sydney. I sit near the window with a hot cup of tea, feeling quiet, feeling calm. I remember something my teacher once said, reading is the secret to fast learning. I think about those words as I pick up my phone and search for easy English stories for beginners. Today, I want to try reading. I find a short story called A Day in the Park. The sentences are simple. Tom wakes up, eats breakfast, and goes to the park. Most of the words are familiar, so I start reading slowly, out loud. I speak each word clearly, and I feel happy. This isn't difficult, I can do it. I finish the story in 5 minutes and read it again. This time, I understand more. On the third reading, I read faster. My voice becomes smoother, my eyes move quicker. I smile because I realize something. I didn't just read words. I lived inside the story. I saw Tom. I saw the park. That day, I decide to read every day. Not long stories, not difficult books, just simple English stories. 10 or 15 minutes is enough. The goal is not to finish a book. The goal is to enjoy the words and grow. The next day, I read a story about a girl and her cat. Then, another one about two friends shopping in Brisbane. The sentences are easy, the vocabulary is simple, but the stories feel alive. I feel connected. I feel like I am learning something real. Then, I notice something incredible. Certain words appear again and again. The word walk shows up in many stories. He walks to school. She walks to the shop. They walk together. Every time I see the word, it becomes stronger in my mind. I don't need to write it down. I don't need to memorize it. My brain remembers naturally. This is the power of reading. Reading teaches words in context. I don't just learn a word, I learn full sentences, the way native speakers use them. Words fit together naturally. I don't have to ask, is this correct? I already feel that it is. Sometimes, I come across a word I don't know. I stop, open the dictionary, read the meaning, then reread the sentence. Now I understand. I don't write the word down. I don't make a vocabulary list. I just move forward. If I see that word again tomorrow, I will understand it better. I also practice reading aloud. I sit in front of a mirror and read the story. I watch my mouth. I listen to my voice. I don't care if I make mistakes, this isn't a test, it's practice. Reading helps me with speaking. The more I read, the easier it becomes to speak. My sentences flow faster, my words sound more natural. I don't pause as much. I don't translate from my native language. I think in English because I read in English. After a week, I feel more confident. I read 2 or 3 stories a day. I enjoy them like movies playing in my mind. I start to guess meanings naturally. I understand more without the dictionary. English feels less like a stranger, it feels like a friend. Now, reading is part of my daily routine. In the morning, I read a short story. In the evening, I read a longer one. Sometimes, I read the same story many times, it helps me remember better. It makes me fluent. If you want to practice English at home, start reading. Begin with short stories. Choose something simple, something fun, something you enjoy. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about big words. Just read. Make reading a habit. Read every day, even if just for 10 minutes. Read with your heart. Read with your voice. Read with your mind. One day, without even trying too hard, you will find that you speak better, think faster, and understand more. Reading isn't just about words, it's about the world. A new world you can enter through English. Chapter 4, Shadowing Without Fear. It is evening in Melbourne. I sit alone, listening to an English story on my phone. The voice is slow, clear, and beautiful. The speaker says, "My name is Emily. I live in Sydney." I pause the audio. I repeat the sentence, trying to say it exactly as she does. My name is Emily. I live in Sydney. I listen again. I speak again. This is my first time doing shadowing, a technique I learned from a YouTube video. The speaker explained, shadowing means repeating after a native speaker, immediately after hearing the sentence. Like a shadow following someone. You hear, you speak, you copy everything, words, sounds, tone, rhythm. At first, I feel nervous. I have never done this before. I'm afraid I will sound strange, afraid I will say the words incorrectly. But I remind myself, no one is watching. I am at home. I am safe here. I choose a short clip, just 1 minute long. The speaker talks about her day. I press play. She says, I wake up at 7 a.m. I pause and repeat, I wake up at 7 a.m. I try to mimic her voice, her tone, her rhythm. Then she says, I drink coffee in the kitchen. I pause and repeat, I drink coffee in the kitchen. I say it again and again. Slowly, I start feeling better. My voice becomes smoother. My fear fades away, replaced by a quiet excitement. Shadowing feels like music practice. It's not about speaking fast, but speaking correctly. It's about listening carefully and repeating with focus. I make a small plan. Every day, I will do 10 minutes of shadowing. I will use short clips with subtitles. First, I listen. Then, I read the subtitles. Then, I pause after each sentence and repeat, step by step, line by line. At first, I make mistakes. I mispronounce words. I forget sentences. But I don't stop. I go back. I try again. I speak louder. I speak clearly. I speak with heart. After a few days, I notice something, my pronunciation improves. My tongue moves faster. My voice sounds more natural. I can say full sentences without thinking too much. I feel more confident when I speak. Shadowing teaches me how real English sounds, not the textbook version, but the way people actually speak. I learn how words connect, how intonation changes, how voices rise and fall. And the best part? I don't need anyone else. Just my phone, my headphones, and a quiet place. I practice shadowing in the morning before breakfast and in the evening after dinner. Sometimes, I do it while walking alone through the streets of Melbourne. I whisper the words, no one hears me, but I practice. Before important events, I use shadowing to prepare. If I have a school interview, I find an English video about interviews and repeat every line until I feel ready. It gives me courage. It prepares me. It works. You don't need someone to practice speaking with. You can shadow. You can copy. You can train your mouth, ears, and brain all at once. Shadowing isn't easy at first, but soon, it becomes fun. It becomes powerful. It becomes your daily practice. If you want to speak like native speakers, you must listen like them and speak like them. Shadowing gives you this chance. It turns your quiet room into an English classroom. It turns your phone into a teacher. It turns your voice into a tool for learning. So don't be afraid. Choose a short video. Press play. Pause after each sentence. Repeat what you hear. Do this every day, just 10 minutes, and soon, you will feel the difference. Your voice will be stronger. Your words will be clearer. Your English will be more alive. All because you shadowed without fear. Chapter 5, Talking to Myself in English. It is a sunny afternoon in Sydney. I sit near the window with a notebook in my hand. The house is quiet, and no one is around, yet my mind is filled with thoughts. I feel the urge to speak, the need to practice, but there is no friend, no teacher, no class. So, I begin to talk to myself. At first, it feels strange. Hello, how are you? I say. I'm fine, thank you. I answer. Then, I add, and you? I laugh. It feels silly, yet it also feels good. I am not waiting for someone to talk to. I am not waiting for the perfect moment. I just speak. I walk around my room, describing my actions out loud. I open the door. I close the window. I take a pen. I sit on the chair. These sentences are simple, but they are powerful. I speak slowly and clearly. I hear my own voice. I feel my English growing. Later, I stand in front of the mirror. I look at myself and speak. I ask questions. I give answers. I tell short stories about my day. Today, I woke up early. I made tea. I cleaned the room. I watched a video. I feel like I am talking to a friend. But that friend is me. When I step outside onto the streets of Sydney, I continue. In my mind, I speak in English. I see a dog and say, the dog is running. I notice a man with a bag and say, he is going to the shop. I see a tree and say, the leaves are green. Something is changing. My inner voice begins to think in English. This is how I train myself, by talking to myself. I don't need a conversation partner. I don't need perfect grammar. I just need words and courage. At first, I make mistakes. I forget words. I mix sentences. But I don't stop. I correct myself. I try again. I smile and move forward. The goal is not perfection, the goal is progress. Every day, I talk to myself about different things. Sometimes, I imagine I'm in a cafe, ordering food. Hello. I would like a cup of coffee, please. Other times, I pretend I'm at the airport. My flight is at 10 a.m. Where is the gate? Sometimes, I play both roles in a conversation, creating full dialogues in my room. Slowly, I feel the transformation. I grow more confident. I speak faster. My sentences come naturally. English becomes fluid, a part of me. One day, while cooking, I realize something. I cut the onion. I add salt. I stir the soup. Suddenly, I notice, I am speaking without hesitation. I am thinking in English effortlessly. I don't need to plan, it just happens. This is the power of self-talk. It is private. It is simple. But it is strong. It is my own free classroom. I can speak in the morning. I can speak at night. I can speak when I am alone. The more I talk to myself, the better I become. Talking to myself in English helps my brain build language naturally. It connects thinking and speaking. It teaches me to be bold, to use my words, to not wait for others. So, don't wait. Start now. Look around your room. Say what you see. Tell a story about your day. Ask yourself questions. Answer them out loud. Talk to your mirror. Talk in your mind. No one is watching. No one is judging. You are free. The more you talk to yourself, the less afraid you will be to talk to others. Your English will become a part of you. Your confidence will grow from within. And it all starts with one simple thing, your voice. Chapter 6, Using Technology Smartly. It is night. I sit on my bed, holding my phone, and I ask myself, can I use this device to improve my English? I open my apps. I check my settings. Everything is in my language. Then, an idea sparks. I change everything to English. Now, my phone speaks to me in English. Every time I unlock it, I see English words. It feels new. It feels strange, but it also feels exciting. This is the beginning of something different. I decide to use my phone not just for entertainment, but for learning. I want to use technology wisely. I want my phone to become my English teacher. The next day, I search for English learning apps. I find one with simple vocabulary. It shows pictures and speaks the words out loud. I tap on an image, it says, apple. I repeat, apple. Then, chair. I repeat again. I do this for 10 minutes. It is fun. It is easy. I learn without stress. Then, I find another app that helps with speaking. It asks me to say sentences out loud. I speak, and it tells me if my pronunciation is correct. I am going to school. I say it. The app shows a green tick. I smile. I feel proud. I also turn to YouTube. I search for beginner-friendly English listening materials. I find a channel with short, slow videos. One video explains daily routines. A man says, I wake up at 6 a.m. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. I repeat each sentence. I pause. I speak. I listen again. The next day, I watch the same video again. This time, I understand more. My ears are learning. My mouth is learning. My mind is learning. Then, I try something new. I use voice typing. I open a notes app. I speak in English. My phone types my words. Hello, my name is Liam. I like to read books. The phone types everything. If it types the wrong word, I know I mispronounced it, so I try again. Slowly, my pronunciation improves. I also use a dictionary app. When I read a new word in a story, I type it into the app. It shows me the meaning and gives an example sentence. I don't force myself to memorize the word. I simply read it and move on. If I see the word again, I will remember it naturally. Sometimes, I use Google Translate, but not too often. Only when I truly don't understand. I listen to how the word is spoken, I repeat it, I shadow it. Technology helps me, but I don't let it consume my entire day. I use it with a plan. I set aside 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening, dedicated only to learning English. No games. No distractions. Even music becomes a learning tool. I find English songs with subtitles. I listen. I read the lyrics. I sing along. This helps me with rhythm and pronunciation. I enjoy it, and I learn at the same time. Sometimes, I watch movies with English subtitles. First, I read while listening. Then, I turn off the subtitles and focus only on the sounds. I try to understand as much as I can before checking the subtitles again. This step-by-step process strengthens my skills. One day, I find a voice assistant app. What is the weather today? It replies in English. I ask again, what time is it in London? It tells me. I smile. I am using English for real questions. I am learning through use. Technology is everywhere, but when you use it wisely, it becomes your personal classroom. You don't need to spend money. You don't need a big course. You just need a phone, internet, and the will to learn. Use apps. Use videos. Use voice tools. Use subtitles. Change your settings. Use everything, but use it with purpose. Let technology be a helper, not a distraction. Learn one thing each day. Speak one sentence. Listen to one video. That is enough, because every small step builds your big dream. Your phone is not just a device, it is your daily teacher. Your mirror. Your partner in this journey. Use it wisely, and soon, you will speak English fluently. Chapter 7. Creating English Habits at Home. It is early morning in Melbourne. I am still in bed, and the house is quiet. I pick up my phone and open a simple English story. I read one short paragraph, then say it aloud. This is my morning habit now. I do it every day. It only takes 5 minutes, but it helps me start the day in English. I have learned something important. If you want to improve your English, you don't need to study for hours or learn everything at once. You just need habits, small daily habits. When you repeat small actions every day, they become a part of you. You don't have to think, you just do them, like brushing your teeth or eating your meals. Now, I do the same with English. After brushing my teeth, I talk to myself in English. I stand in front of the mirror and say, "Good morning. Today is a beautiful day. I will make tea. I will study. I will grow." These words are simple, yet they wake up my English brain. They prepare me for the day ahead. When I cook breakfast, I play an English audio story. I don't stop to repeat, I just listen. My ears absorb the sounds. My brain listens without pressure. It becomes a habit. Every time I enter the kitchen, my mind says, "Let's listen." In the afternoon, I take a short walk through the streets of Sydney. As I walk, I think in English. I describe what I see. A red car is moving. A man is talking on the phone. The sky is clear. These thoughts are simple, but they help me practice every day. I also created a fun habit in the evening. After dinner, I watch a short English video, sometimes a cartoon, sometimes a slow conversation. I watch with subtitles. I shadow some lines. It becomes part of my routine, like watching TV for fun, but in English. I write new words in a notebook, just 1 or 2 words each day. I don't make long lists. I don't study hard. I simply write, read, and use the words when I speak. Over time, the words stay in my mind. I also label things in my room. I write mirror, door, lamp, and window on small pieces of paper and stick them on the objects. Every time I see them, I say the word. It's a small action, yet it helps me remember effortlessly. On weekends, I talk to myself about my week. This week, I worked hard. I read 3 stories. I watched 4 videos. I learned 5 new words. I feel proud. I speak slowly, but I speak with joy. These results come from daily habits. Sometimes, I don't feel like practicing. I feel tired. I feel lazy. But my habits remind me. Just do one small thing. Just 5 minutes. And when I do it, I feel better. I feel strong again. Habits help you grow even when you feel weak. They carry you forward. They make English a natural part of your life. You don't need to do everything in one day. You don't need hours of study. Create a small routine. Practice English for 5 minutes in the morning. Watch a short video in the evening. Read 1 story a day. Think in English while you walk. Talk to yourself before bed. Start with one habit, then add another. Slowly, your life will change. English will not feel like a subject, it will feel like a companion. When English becomes your daily habit, it becomes second nature. You don't study it anymore, you live it. You don't need more time. You need more consistency. 5 minutes a day is better than 1 hour once a week. So make English your habit. Make it your morning friend. Make it your evening song. Let it grow with you, day by day. Chapter 8. Learning never stops at home. It is late at night in Sydney. The lights are off, and I lie in bed, thinking about my day. I smile. I read one English story. I watched one short video. I spoke to myself in the mirror. I learned one new word. It was not a big day, but it was a good day, a day of learning, a day of growing. I remember a time when I didn't believe I could do this. I thought I needed a teacher, a classroom, a perfect plan. I thought learning English at home was impossible. But now, I know the truth. Learning never stops at home. In fact, home is where it begins. And if you do it the right way, it can take you very far. In the last few weeks, I have made big progress. My pronunciation is better. My sentences are smoother. I understand more when I listen. I feel more comfortable when I speak. And I did all of this alone, at home. How? By being consistent. By doing one small thing each day. By using all the tools around me, books, phones, apps, mirrors, my own voice. I used my time. I used my energy. I used my dream. Some days were hard. I was tired. I was busy. I felt slow. But I never stopped. I told myself, just 5 minutes. I did it. And slowly, those 5 minutes became a powerful habit, a habit that changed everything. At home, I am the student, but also the teacher. I decide what to learn. I decide how to learn. I decide when to learn. This gives me freedom. This gives me control. I keep a small notebook with me. I write a few words every day. At night, I look at them. I don't force myself to memorize them, I just read and feel the words. I trust my mind. I trust the process. Sometimes, I record my voice. I talk for 1 minute. I speak about my day or my feelings. Then, I listen. I hear my mistakes. I hear my growth. I hear my courage. I still use shadowing. I still read easy stories. I still watch simple videos. I still talk to myself. I still think in English when I cook, walk, or rest. Every small activity becomes English practice. And the best part? I don't need anyone to watch me. I don't need to pass a test. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to continue. That's how learning works. It never ends, it only grows. I now understand that learning English is not about speed. It's about the journey, a slow, beautiful journey, full of effort, full of patience, full of small victories. If you are learning English at home, Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about being fast. Just keep going. Read a little. Listen a little. Speak a little. Think a little. Do it every day. Trust your journey. Your home is your school. Your phone is your tool. Your voice is your guide. Your dream is your light. You are not alone. I was there too. I started with fear. I started with silence. But I took the first step. Then the second. Then the third. And slowly, I found my way. And you will too. So keep learning, keep speaking, keep listening, keep reading, keep thinking. Let English grow with you, day by day, step by step. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. This moment is already perfect. Just begin. Just continue. Just believe. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more real-life inspired tales, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to English Audio Club, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. Your support means the world, and I'll see you in the next one.